My name is B-Walk and welcome back to Copy Your Coin, where I show you how to copy your coin in the fastest growing market in world history. Today I'm going to talk about the cryptocurrency market from a technical perspective. Okay, we're in the thick of things in the middle of August. We're going to the summer months. We're about winding up, getting ready to go into that fourth quarter and kind of talking about where the market is going. I mean, it's kind of been consolidating somewhat. Some might say even pulling back some. What should we be doing? People have contacted me. Should I be buying? Should I be holding? What should I do, B-Walk? Well, I'm going to get into that. But you already know I'm going to ask you to do three things. I'm going to get you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit that alert button so that you know when fresh content is out from Copy Your Coin. Okay? So without further ado, let's get into it. Everybody already knows. I already start here. It's important to look at what the overall market is at and kind of see where we are. And as I said, I mean, the market has been somewhat out of a consolidation phase. We're sitting here about 270 billion worldwide, of which we got 184 billion of that is the Bitcoin. And then as you can go on down here and you can see that most of the currency, the top 10 have definitely been the negative. Got some positives, look a little bit, and it's not been seriously negative. So like I said, we're a little bit bouncing right here. One of my favorite holdings, Cardano, is down here in the 12th position at approximately a little bit under 5 cents. And so I've been adding to the position as well, to that position, keeping some more things. I have some XLM, I have some Ethereum, I have some XRP. So I'm kind of keeping my eyes on opportunities here, and we're going to get into some of that, kind of what's going forward. But this is kind of just a brief picture to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. So as we look at the charts, and that's kind of what I want to focus on right now, we talk about where is the market going? You know, where is Bitcoin at? What can we expect to see going forward? And that's going to be the main question. So as the charts came up, eventually pop up, here we go. So as you can see, Bitcoin is still relatively bullish. Now it's got a point where we're in what I would like to call consolidation. We came in here, and a lot of people like to refer to this as a double top. And then the target typically drops down to wherever the high was. Now we didn't quite go this low as we went as high. However, we've been kind of bouncing here. As you see, we dropped below that 10,000. That was a big even 10,000. Dropped below that, popped right back up to about 12,000 in these last few days. Been kind of hovering down here. We're sitting here just above 10,000. Where do we go from here? As you can see, the 200-day or 200 period, in this case day, 200 period moving average is right here underneath, and it's continuing to push higher. So I think that it's still a bullish trend. I think right now we're a little bit trendless in this particular month. And in August, I think we're going to kind of break out here. We're going to wait to see. And there's going to be some information that's going to come down fundamentally. I think it's going to start to change the picture. But technically speaking, I think we're in a position where I would probably add to my position as I see, and I have added. Looking at the opportunities here below, I mean, Bitcoin, I think, has got a lot of room to go. I think it still is the 100-pound gorilla in the building. So I think that this is the one that's going to be dominant of the cryptocurrency. The brand is strong. And we'll see what happens in the next few days and next weeks as things unfold, and we'll talk about it. Now, you can see the volume certainly was the highest as we were going up. So what that means is people were starting to buy, and getting in there. But as we started to consolidate, the volume started to trickle off. That's normal. That's usually what happens. You have some people who start to sell, some people to close their positions. But as you see, the volume relatively is small in that movement down. So, or even the movement sideways, which is to be expected. I'm still thinking there could be some catalysts coming up ahead. As we look further down, we go to Ethereum, and that's typically your number two. Everybody knows about Ethereum. That's another cryptocurrency, your altcoin. Outside, altcoins basically just means anything but Bitcoin. And so Ethereum is typically your top altcoin, rounded out by XRP, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So Ethereum, as you can see, is not quite as bullish as Bitcoin. As you can see, it goes up here. And we got to like middle of July, or beginning of July, rather, end of June, and then it started to fall back some. And Ethereum still hasn't really captured its legs yet. This is as of the U.S. dollar, so I'm kind of comparing oranges to oranges, as they say. So you can get an idea of kind of where it's going now. It's fallen below the 200 period moving average. I suspect that if Bitcoin starts to rally, it will pull Ethereum up with it. But as of right now, Ethereum is a bearish trend. I'm not adding to any Ethereum positions right now because I don't see that. I haven't seen that change yet. Now, As you can see, the volume again, like I talked about, the volume spiked up here. But since then, we've kind of been stagnant, and the volume, we had a pop in the volume here and a little bit less, and then much less as it's gone down. So you've had some sellers that come into the market, and certainly that was a big break to get past the 200 period moving average. And then you see, you tried to break back above it and could not, failed. So we're sitting here at 180. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. Like I said, I don't see it. I'm still looking for a rebound here. I would not add to my position here. I'm certainly watching them, but I'm not going to add anything to Ethereum, my Ethereum accounts. I'm going to wait to see where this goes, because you might be able to get even a lower price than what it is right now. We're currently about 182. Okay, so then as we look at XRP, this is the top three. XRP, very similar position. As you see, it's gone up high. It certainly had a spike in volume back here in May. And like we talked about it moved higher, but then it broke down below that 200 period moving average and hasn't really recovered since. We've been here trailing right about the 26-cent mark again. I haven't seen where the bottom is yet on this. So we gotta wait and see how it reacts. I suspect that there's going to be some rallying here coming into the last part of this year. And like I said, we'll get into that. But technically speaking, the picture doesn't look as positive as Bitcoin. So out of the three that I just showed you, between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, Bitcoin is the one that I'd be adding to at this moment. That's the one I'd be looking to add to, because it looks like it's going to have another wave higher. It's looking like it's just consolidating, looking for another blast off. As we look at some of my other holdings, XLM, this is one that, even though I like their project, and certainly I think that they have some potential going forward, as you can see, it's been a steadily decline since June. And I always wondered what would happen, because I know they were doing a lot of airdrops with their currency. And that was interesting, but sometimes you can't, there's no such thing as being able to manipulate a market and keep it higher. You can only manipulate a market for so long, and that includes Bitcoin. So as you can see, there's been a steady decline. It's been lower and lower and lower. So I'm sitting here again, another picture where it's kind of a wait and see approach. We'll have to see. Fundamentally, I'm sure there's some news why that is kind of taking the wind out of its sails. But as you can see right here, we're at a low of just above, just below 7 cents at 6.068. So considering that, well, a couple of months ago, it was at a high at almost triple that value at 16 at spiked, and we've fallen down. Maybe there'll be an opportunity to buy here later on. I'm not sure. Again, it'll be something that we have to keep paying attention to. The other one I want to look at, XMR, Monero. This one has a little more stability, a little bit closer to Bitcoin. As you can see, it has rallied some here and moved higher, but then it fell back some. Now we're just sitting here right above the 200 period moving average. Again, I always point to that because that's a very statistical number. A lot of people are watching this line, and so it kind of gives you an idea of what the strength of the bulls are. If it crosses through there, then the bears take control and they'll push it lower. But right now it seems to be hovering right in here, so that's going to be a point of inflection. We're going to continue to look. It's currently at a price of 82,235. I've heard from the grapevine that this is a lot of institutional interest in this particular altcoin. So far it seems to be holding true to some degree, because obviously it would have fallen back like the others if it had not. But we'll still have to wait and see. This is a particular case where, like I said, out of all the ones I've just shown, still Bitcoin is the only one that I will be adding to at this level, at this point. Finally, I want to talk about Cardano. And this is one that's near and dear to my heart. This is one I've been collecting for quite some time. Like I said, it certainly moved higher. I drew this line here, back here in July. It was one of the first moves back in the early. This moved early when Bitcoin was still lower. Cardano moved early and fell back, then moved up higher some more, and then it's since fallen back. Now I know specifically why this has happened. I suspect anyway, and that's because, again, everybody was waiting on Sheldon. Was supposed to be out by I believe in June, July time frame. It has not missed. It has missed that point. Now Cardano has a habit of being very, very methodical with their approach and very patient. And they're not necessarily worried about their price, and that reflects here, as you can see. So the market can be impatient at times, and when you say you're going to do something, you got to do it. So this was always a problem with Cardano. They've had that issue where they'll put out a goal and they'll be a little bit delayed, In this case, I'm hearing that they're going to try to have Shelly up and running by the end of this year. That's why the depression. I'm sure that once that comes through, now if there's a surprise, maybe they get Shelly open and running before that. Maybe that'll happen. We'll see. If that does happen, then you will see Cardano certainly spike. This is one that at this point, I still, I think it's going to bounce here for a little bit. You could add a little bit here. But again, I'm waiting to add to I see you start moving higher. So I'm going to be watching here the next weeks and months and kind of seeing how it reacts. But it's a great price at 4 cents. I'm telling you right now, in my belief, I think Cardano's going to be one of the highest altcoins when it's all said and done. However, it's going to take some belief to do that, and right here, you got to trade what you see. And at this point, it looks like it could go lower. So if it goes lower, I'd rather buy it lower than buy it higher at this point. So we'll keep eyes posted on this. This is just, like I said, a technical picture, a technical aspect of kind of what's going on with the market from a big to a small perspective. So as we round into this next quarter, we're going to see, I think there's going to be some leaders and there's going to be some laggers, some people who are going to be winning and some people who are going to be losing. We got to keep our eyes open and continue to watch, continue to use the signs that we see. You don't want to, there's a lot of things that people believe in, but you got to trade what you see. As I said, ultimately, Bitcoin, like I said, still looks the strongest out of all the coins. Now, it's not going to always be that way. Usually it cycles. So money comes out of one asset into another. Like I said, so right now we have a lot of money in Bitcoin. You have some money that I think that's going to continue to draw into Bitcoin. Once we get to the high that we previously made, was right about 20,000, and then break right through that, I imagine you will start to see some money come off the table after the hype after the hype dies down, if you will. So we will see. But anyway, this is just a real quick update. I will be back with another video talking about fundamentally what's going on. But anyway, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time on Copy Your Coin.